Hello, everyone. My name is Eric Urbaniak, and today I'm here with Teresa Homsi, and we work in the Office of Institutional Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion on Central Sustainability. So Central Sustainability is essentially a platform we designed about a year ago to educate the community about sustainability and bring people together towards a common cause.
All right, thank you for that introduction, Eric. We're going to start our presentation off by just kind of explaining what sustainability is. Hence, what is sustainability? Last semester, we released the first ever sustainability survey to campus, and we surveyed about 600 students on their knowledge of sustainability. From that, we found that 84% of students are familiar with the term sustainability. Most of them kind of defined it underneath the Oxford Dictionary definition, which is sustainability as the ability to be maintained at a certain rate or level. And as you can see here, the UN World Commission on Environment and Development defines sustainability as meeting the needs of the present without compromising the needs of the future. So these are two pretty common definitions of what sustainability is. Most perspectives get at the heart of the same idea. There are finite resources, and we need to have practices that promise stability and well-being for future generations, especially in regard to the environment.
So first, we always think about environmental sustainability, and this is when we talk about climate change and the different environmental implications of our actions. However, there is a lot more that we can focus on. So one of our favorite topics in sustainability is social and cultural sustainability. And this is why we work in the DEI office at CMU, because social sustainability is all about how do the ways we treat other people and the ways we interact with our environments and communities contribute to environmental degradation. So there's always issues like environmental justice, environmental racism, and in order to uplift people, we need to support their identities and people's ability to express themselves. And one common example of cultural sustainability at CMU is our interactions with the Saginaw Chippewa Indian tribe. And so that's just one way we can interact with other people and give appreciation to other people in order to uplift our communities. So then another type of sustainability we love to focus on is human sustainability, and that is our physical, mental, and spiritual health, and how can we provide resources to people in order to better themselves. And finally, economic sustainability is all about financial security and how can we implement sustainable systems to save money.
The reason we're talking about all this is because the most pressing issues we face today are incredibly complex, deeply interconnected, and you can see this because environmental issues have societal impacts and vice versa. The lack of proper action can fuel social inequalities, economic disparities, and environmental degradation. So when groups of people are targeted, environmental and social destruction increases. These are the faults of a system that undermines the value of life and permits unsustainable practices, creating this vicious cycle of exploitation, cruelty, and violence.
So, and therefore, it's not a coincidence that we, Central Sustainability, are sourced out of the Office for Institutional Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. This is because we believe that sustainability can't be achieved without social awareness and cultural understanding. We need to support and develop resilient local efforts, inclusive institutions and services, and effective reforms that connect us in meaningful ways to people from different backgrounds and perspectives.
In addition to implementing policies that benefit the holistic environment, we must advocate for actions that empower disenfranchised communities and ensure justice for all. This diversity and experience and interaction makes all of our efforts more sustainable. So to kind of summarize all of that, sustainability simply to us means building a better world. And in order to have a better world environmentally, it must be equitable, inclusive, healthy, supportive, accessible, etc. Right?
Yes, so as Teresa said, sustainability is intersectional, and there's a lot of ways we can address it. So to us, sustainability is really a continuum. There is no end goal, and we can always improve and support the people around us and provide accessibility and equity to the people around us in order to better our communities and our environments.
Before we get into who we are, I think I'm going to take a little personal tangent here because we did throw a lot of words at you, and a lot of them were idealistic and perhaps naive to some people, but I'm going to talk about quickly something I remember hearing as a kid, and I'm sure maybe some of y'all have heard it yourselves. Whenever I remember pointing out something that wasn't fair, the typical response that I got back from adults was, well, life's not fair. And this is something that I remember very well, and it's something that I circle back to a lot, because I remember as a kid, I knew that there was something flawed about that statement. It didn't make sense to me. I had just pointed out something that was unfair, and someone just said, "Yeah, that's kind of how it is." And so, as we continue through this work and we talk about sustainability, that's something that I want to make sure that y'all keep in mind as well. Life's not fair. I'm not going to disagree with that. There's plenty of injustice and inequity around us, but life should be fair. And that's what we're striving for. I personally am grateful for that naivety and that idealism, because why should I settle with life's not fair if there are things that we can do collectively to make it better?
So this is kind of why we formed Central Sustainability, in order to bring people together and provide people with the resources they need in order to learn more about their actions and build community with others in order to make the world better, because we need strong communities and integrated connections with other people in order to really improve our environments.
All right, so now we're kind of getting more into our story. We started, it's kind of hard to say when we exactly started. We were originally, Eric and I were separately hired to work on STARS, which we'll get into that later, but that's kind of how we started. And from then on, we sort of saw a need at CMU, an institutional gap in sustainability here. So what we sort of do is we collaborate with a bunch of campus partners. We create educational materials and resources. We've written policy, and we initiate a lot of sustainability projects. I know I don't want to sound like a broken record here when we're talking about sustainability and what that is, because it's very broad and it encompasses a lot of things. But you'll start to see when we present the work that we've done, how our definition of sustainability comes in to our projects. So here I kind of have that. We started with defining it, and this intersectional definition of sustainability is what guides our goals, frames our vision, and determines the projects that we pursue.
So one of the categories of the different projects we do is education, outreach, and resources sort of projects. So one of the first things we did back in May of 2020 is we designed a sustainable living guide for campus, where people can find resources about civic engagement and how to survive and live in Mount Pleasant in this community. So you can explore parks, explore downtown, and really find ways to better yourself at CMU. So then after that, we worked on sustainability walking tours, where people can join us for walks around campus, or take it virtually during COVID, where you can go around campus and learn about sustainability and environmental justice. And then more recently, we designed a sustainability pledge, where anyone can pledge online to live a more sustainable life. And this pledge involves cultural sustainability, social sustainability, and environmental sustainability. So there's questions about DEI, like, will you visit the Saginaw Chippewa Indian Tribe Zebra Wing Center, or will you utilize the resources in Faust Hall to better yourself? So then last fall, we distributed an annual sustainability survey in order to find out how people think sustainability is at CMU, what they want to see at CMU, and to find out some statistics about sustainability knowledge. And then most recently, we've done a lot of educational presentations to RHA, SGA, and other stakeholders in the community. And then finally, we helped promote educational content and creating educational resources for the Campus Race to Zero Waste.
We threw a lot at you there, but you can find all of our resources on our website if you want to explore each of these options a little bit more. I know that there's a lot of sustainability showing up on the, the screen right now, but that's kind of the nature of the work that we do. All right, and on this slide, we have our collaborative projects. because it's just us two, Eric and I, doing all this work, we like to partner up with other people. This is our way of sort of promoting sustainability and working on larger projects. Our first real big collaborative project was the Central Michigan Climate Solutions Summit that happened back in October. We worked with the Mount Pleasant Citizens Climate Lobby and Elizabeth Bradshaw from the sociology department here at CMU to sort of put on this climate summit. Our role in it was essentially helping shift it to an online virtual format. And we sort of provided content for it. All the information for the summit was hosted on our website, and it still is there. All the videos from the summit are there as well, if you want to check those out. One of our current collaborative projects is an ethnobotanical garden that we're doing with the Saginaw Chippewa Tribal College. We're creating a little garden on campus that has plants that with traditional uses and values. This space is meant to be an homage to the tribe and also an educational space, connecting people to places, as we like to say. Currently, we're also planning an Earth Week conference with various CMU and community organizations, Take Back the Tap, the Sierra Club, SGA, the Volunteer Center, and the Center for International Ethics. There's a bunch of them, so I just listed a few of them. Back last semester as well, we participated with the Michigan Sustainability Campus Collective, and we moderated the Michigan Earth Day 50.5 conference panel on environmental justice actions for college students. So that was our first, external collaborative thing that we did. And it was an amazing opportunity where we got to learn about environmental justice and participate in the larger Michigan field of sustainability.
So one of the things that we are really aiming towards is institutional change. We want to incorporate sustainability into how the university functions and into the educational processes and RSOs that all students can experience. So some of the ways we've been doing this recently are through the constantly updating the Central Sustainability website. About a year ago, we started to author a sustainable purchasing policy, which was signed by President Davies in October of 2020. And then we also integrated sustainability into campus ambassador tours, and we are currently integrating sustainability education into the DEI awareness course. And then the reason I skipped over STARS is because we are going to get to that, but that is a benchmarking comparative way that universities can see how they are doing in social, cultural, economic, and environmental sustainability. So then the long-term and future projects we are focusing on is a municipal solid waste policy and a green cleaning policy that we are going to author this summer, and then begin incorporating sustainability into the orientation processes through videos and QR codes and just different ways people can learn about how CMU and how students can participate in sustainability initiatives.
Great. So we're getting toward the conclusion here. We've kind of went over some of the projects that we worked on. There's a lot there, and we do document all of this stuff. Some things that weren't mentioned were our YouTube channel and our blog, where we kind of give a more narrative approach to things that are working on, but all of this information is housed on our website. And this presentation is sort of meant to be a short introduction to sustainability and what that means and what that can mean, I should say.
So yeah, one of the biggest projects that we worked on, and the reason we were both initially hired, is to work on the STARS reports, which are the Sustainability Tracking, Assessment, and Rating System. And that is put on by ASHE, the Association for the Advancement of Sustainability in Higher Education. So basically, any university can participate in STARS, and each university is given a ranking based on their sustainability initiatives. And this ranking is based on the percent sustainable that your university is. So prior to this year, CMU has always held since 2017, CMU has held a silver rating, indicating that we're about 55% sustainable. But this year we worked on the reports and developed some programs on the website and the walking tours. And this put CMU up to the gold rating, which is about 65% sustainable. And so this is always a very hard rating to achieve, and it's always going to become harder. So it's important that we focus on institutionalizing sustainability and really improving the systems for how students can learn about sustainability?
So this year, 2021, after more than a year of working on this report, which is extensive. You can also find that on our website just to see what it measures and all the information that's required for it. We spent more than a year working on this, and we achieved gold for the first time. The past report, which was submitted in 2017, was a silver rating. And so a lot of the things that did bring us up to gold were some of the initiatives that we've mentioned before. But we include this here not to just give ourselves a pat on the back for this, but it's a testament of progress. It's really important that we understand that the space between gold and silver is huge, but the space between gold and platinum is even bigger. And we're happy to have progressed this far, but there is still so much that can be improved. And we really think that CMU has the potential to advance even more so, but we're going to need a lot to do it. And so this is kind of a testament of our progress, but also an example of our potential as well.
So like we said in our introduction, sustainability is continuous. Even though CMU has the STARS Gold rating, like Teresa said, we can always achieve platinum. And there's always things we can do to become better as a university. We have composting programs and recycling programs and solar panels, but we can also make those better and divest from fossil fuels and just find ways to help the community, build the community around us and help others. We need to support each other and support ourselves in order to create an equitable, diverse, and inclusive space where everyone has the capacity to do the best they can and follow their passions and help make the world more sustainable. So we'd like to thank you so much for coming to this presentation. We want you to know that you can always help and we're always here for you. So feel free to reach out to us, visit our website and take the sustainability pledge, watch our videos. There's always more that you can do and always more than we can do. So please send us recommendations. We love to work on new projects and collaborations. And so thank you so much for listening to us today.